Winning every day does not begin with talent, luck, or circumstances. It begins with clarity. When you start with your do-why, you give meaning to every action you take, no matter how small or ordinary it seems. Your why is the reason you wake up in the morning. It is the belief that drives you forward when motivation fades and when results are not immediate. Without a clear why, effort feels heavy, discipline feels forced, and progress feels temporary. With a clear why, even the hardest days feel purposeful. Starting with your why every single day means reminding yourself why your work matters, why your goals are worth chasing, and why giving up is not an option. It is easy to get distracted by external rewards like money, recognition, or approval. Those things may feel exciting at first, but they are not strong enough to sustain you through failure, rejection, or exhaustion. Your why goes deeper. It connects to who you are and what you stand for. It is the internal compass that keeps you moving forward even when the path is unclear. When you lead your day with your why, your actions become intentional. You stop reacting to life and start leading it. Instead of asking, "What do I need to do today?" you begin to ask, "Why does this matter?" That simple shift changes everything. It turns routine tasks into meaningful steps and challenges into opportunities to grow. Even setbacks take on a new meaning because they are no longer signs of failure, but part of a larger journey that aligns with your purpose. People who win every day are not those who avoid struggle, but those who understand why the struggle is worth it. When your why is strong, discipline becomes easier because you are no longer forcing yourself to act, you are choosing to act. You do the work not because someone is watching, but because it aligns with your values. You show up on days when no one applauds you because your why matters more than validation. Starting with your why also builds resilience. Life will test you. There will be moments when progress feels slow, when doubt creeps in, and when quitting seems like the easiest option. In those moments, talent will not save you, and motivation will not last. Only your why will remain. It will remind you of the bigger picture and help you push through temporary discomfort for long-term fulfillment. That is how daily wins are created, not through dramatic breakthroughs, but through quiet perseverance driven by purpose. When you live with your why in mind, you also inspire others without trying to. People are drawn to those who act with conviction and authenticity. They can feel when someone is driven by something deeper than personal gain. Your clarity gives others permission to seek their own purpose. Winning every day, then, becomes more than personal success. It becomes impact, it becomes contribution. Starting with your why every single day does not guarantee an easy life, but it guarantees a meaningful one. And meaning is the foundation of lasting success. When you know why you do what you do, every step forward counts as a win, no matter how small it appears. Over time, those small wins compound into a life of purpose, direction, and fulfillment. That is how you truly win every day. Winning every day is rarely the result of one massive achievement or a single life-changing moment. It is built through small, consistent actions that may seem insignificant at first, but carry tremendous power over time. Most people overestimate what they can accomplish in a day and underestimate what they can achieve by showing up daily with intention. True progress is quiet. It happens when you choose to take one small step forward, even when no one is watching, and even when the reward is not immediate. Small actions matter because they are manageable. They remove the pressure of perfection and replace it with progress. When you focus on doing a little better than yesterday, you eliminate excuses. You do not need extraordinary motivation to take a small step. You only need commitment. Over time, these small steps build confidence. Each completed action reinforces the belief that you are capable, disciplined, and moving in the right direction. That belief becomes the fuel that keeps you going. Consistency is what transforms effort into results. A single action, no matter how powerful, has limited impact if it is not repeated. But when small actions are performed consistently, they compound. Just like interest grows quietly in a bank account, consistent effort grows beneath the surface before it becomes visible. Many people quit too early because they expect immediate outcomes. They do not realize that progress is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. Those who keep going during that invisible phase are the ones who eventually win. Daily victories are not about intensity, they are about reliability. You do not need to push at maximum capacity every day. What matters is that you keep showing up. Even on low-energy days, doing something small keeps momentum alive. Momentum is fragile. Once it breaks, restarting becomes harder. But when you protect momentum through consistent action, you make winning a habit rather than an event. Small, consistent actions also build discipline. Discipline is not about force, it is about structure. When you repeat positive behaviors daily, they become part of who you are. You no longer debate whether to act, you simply act. This removes decision fatigue and emotional resistance. Winning then becomes automatic, not because life is easy, but because your habits are aligned with your goals. Every small win sends a powerful message to your mind. It tells you that you are someone who follows through. Over time, this identity shift is what creates long-term success. You stop chasing motivation and start trusting your process. Even setbacks feel different because you know one bad day cannot undo months of consistent effort. That sense of stability is what allows you to stay focused during uncertainty. Consistency also teaches patience. It reminds you that meaningful growth cannot be rushed. When you commit to small actions daily, you learn to respect the process instead of chasing shortcuts. You begin to understand that success is not about speed but direction. As long as you are moving forward, you are winning. Small, consistent actions create daily victories because they are sustainable. They fit into real life with its distractions, responsibilities, and challenges. They allow you to make progress without burning out. Over time, these actions shape your mindset, your character, and your future. When you look back, you realize that what once seemed small was actually everything. That is how winning every day truly works. Winning every day is not about feeling inspired or energized all the time. Motivation is unpredictable. It rises and falls based on mood, environment, and circumstances. If you wait to feel motivated before taking action, you give up control of your progress. Discipline, on the other hand, is reliable. It does not depend on how you feel. It depends on a decision you have already made. Choosing discipline over motivation means committing to show up even when you do not feel like it, even when the work feels heavy, and even when the results are not visible. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. Everyone has goals, dreams, and plans, but only disciplined people turn those ideas into reality. Motivation may help you start, but discipline is what keeps you going. On difficult days, discipline reminds you that your commitment is stronger than your emotions. It allows you to act despite fear, doubt, or exhaustion. That is where real growth happens, in moments when quitting feels easier than continuing. Showing up no matter what builds trust with yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through, not someone who relies on temporary excitement. This self-trust becomes powerful. It changes how you approach challenges because you know you can depend on yourself. Even when the outcome is uncertain, your effort remains consistent. That consistency becomes a form of self-respect. Discipline also creates freedom. At first, it may feel restrictive, like something that limits your choices. In reality, it does the opposite. Discipline frees you from regret, from chaos, and from the constant cycle of starting and stopping. When your actions are guided by discipline, you waste less time negotiating with yourself. You conserve energy by eliminating unnecessary decisions. This clarity allows you to focus on what truly matters. There will always be days when motivation disappears. Life will test you with setbacks, distractions, and unexpected obstacles. In those moments, disciplined action is what keeps you moving forward. Even a small effort on a difficult day is a victory. It reinforces the habit of showing up and protects the momentum you have built. Momentum is created through consistency, not excitement. Choosing discipline over motivation also strengthens your resilience. It teaches you to work through discomfort instead of avoiding it. You learn that discomfort is temporary, but the benefits of persistence are lasting. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes familiar. Tasks that once required effort begin to feel natural. This is how growth becomes sustainable. When you show up no matter what, you stop measuring success by how you feel and start measuring it by what you do. You realize that progress is not about perfect days, but about reliable effort. This mindset removes pressure and replaces it with commitment. You no longer need the perfect conditions to act. You act because that is who you have decided to be. Discipline is not about being harsh or emotionless. It is about honoring your long-term vision over short-term comfort. It is about choosing what matters most instead of what feels easiest in the moment. When you live this way, winning becomes consistent, not accidental. Each day you show up, you move one step closer to the person you want to become. That is the true power of discipline. And that is how you win every day. Winning every day is not only about personal achievement or reaching individual goals. True success becomes meaningful when it extends beyond the self. When you choose to serve others, your definition of winning changes. It is no longer measured only by what you gain, but by the impact you create. Service gives purpose to effort and transforms ordinary actions into something greater than personal ambition. When your work contributes to the growth, well-being, or success of others, every day holds the potential for a genuine win. Serving others shifts your focus outward. Instead of constantly asking what you can get, you begin to ask what you can give. This mindset creates a sense of fulfillment that external rewards cannot match. Recognition, money, and status may provide temporary satisfaction, but service creates lasting meaning. When you know that your actions have helped someone else, even in a small way, your day carries value regardless of the outcome. That sense of contribution strengthens motivation and deepens commitment. When service becomes part of your daily life, challenges take on a different perspective. Difficult moments no longer feel pointless because you understand that your effort matters to more than just yourself. This awareness builds resilience. You are more willing to endure discomfort when you know that someone else may benefit from your persistence. Serving others gives you a reason to keep going when self-interest alone might not be enough. Service also strengthens connection. Human beings are wired for belonging and purpose. When you help others, you create trust and build relationships rooted in authenticity. These connections are not transactional, they are meaningful. Over time, this trust forms strong communities where people support one another. In such environments, winning is shared and success becomes collective rather than competitive. You realize that lifting others does not diminish you, it elevates everyone. Choosing to serve others also cultivates humility. It reminds you that leadership is not about control or authority, but about responsibility. When you serve, you listen more and assume less. You become more aware of the needs around you and more intentional with your actions. This humility does not weaken you, it strengthens your influence. People are more likely to follow and respect those who genuinely care about their well-being. Service creates a ripple effect. One act of kindness or support often inspires another. When people feel valued, they are more likely to pass that feeling forward. In this way, serving others multiplies impact far beyond the original action. Even small gestures can lead to significant change over time. You may never fully see the results of your service, but that does not lessen its value. The act itself is a win. When your daily efforts are guided by service, failure loses its power. Not every attempt will succeed, and not every effort will be recognized. But when your intention is to help, the outcome matters less than the integrity of the action. This frees you from the fear of judgment and allows you to act with courage and sincerity. You win because you stayed true to your values. Serving others does not mean neglecting yourself. It means aligning your success with the success of those around you. When you grow in a way that allows others to grow as well, your achievements become sustainable. Every day you choose service, you reinforce a purpose larger than yourself. That purpose becomes a source of strength, direction, and fulfillment. In that way, serving others ensures that no day is wasted and every day becomes a win. Winning every day does not mean getting everything right. It does not mean flawless execution, constant success, or reaching every goal without struggle. The idea that perfection is the standard creates pressure that eventually leads to frustration and burnout. Progress, not perfection, is what truly defines success. When you shift your focus from being perfect to becoming better, you give yourself permission to grow, learn, and move forward without fear. Perfection is static. It leaves no room for learning because mistakes are seen as failures rather than feedback. Progress, on the other hand, is dynamic. It accepts that growth is messy and uneven. Some days you move forward quickly, other days slowly, and sometimes you take a step back. But as long as the overall direction is forward, you are winning. This mindset removes the emotional weight that comes from unrealistic expectations and replaces it with consistency and resilience. When people chase perfection, they often delay action. They wait for the right moment, the perfect plan, or ideal conditions. As a result, they stay stuck. Progress-oriented people take action, even when conditions are not ideal. They understand that clarity comes from movement, not waiting. Each imperfect step provides information that helps refine the next one. Over time, these imperfect steps add up to meaningful change. Progress builds confidence in a sustainable way. Every small improvement reinforces the belief that effort matters. You begin to trust the process instead of doubting yourself. Confidence grows not from never failing, but from realizing that failure does not stop you. It becomes evidence that you are trying, learning, and adapting. This kind of confidence is stable because it is rooted in experience, not illusion. Choosing progress over perfection also strengthens emotional resilience. Perfectionism often leads to harsh self-judgment. One mistake can overshadow months of effort. This mindset drains energy and motivation. A progress-focused mindset allows you to acknowledge mistakes without being defined by them. You learn to separate who you are from what went wrong. This emotional flexibility helps you recover faster and continue moving forward. Progress teaches patience. Real growth takes time, and progress reminds you that success is built over many days, not overnight. This patience helps you stay committed during slow periods when results are not immediately visible. You begin to value effort as much as outcome. Each day you show up becomes meaningful, regardless of how small the improvement seems. Perfection creates fear of failure, while progress embraces learning. When failure is no longer something to avoid at all costs, you become more willing to take risks. Innovation, creativity, and personal growth all require the courage to try without certainty. Progress gives you that courage. It tells you that even if something does not work, it still moves you forward by teaching you something valuable. Progress also promotes self-compassion. You recognize that growth happens within real life, with all its responsibilities, limitations, and unexpected challenges. You stop comparing your journey to unrealistic standards or other people's highlight moments. Instead, you measure success against who you were yesterday. This comparison is fair, motivating, and empowering. Daily progress creates momentum. Each small improvement makes the next step easier. Over time, effort compounds into results that once seemed impossible. Looking back, you realize that consistency mattered more than intensity. What felt slow in the moment was actually building something solid and lasting. Progress aligns success with sustainability. Perfection often demands too much, too fast. It pushes people to extremes that cannot be maintained. Progress respects balance. It allows growth to coexist with rest, reflection, and adaptation. This balance prevents burnout and ensures that success is not temporary but enduring. When you define success as progress, every day offers a chance to win. Even difficult days count because effort was made. Even setbacks count because lessons were learned. Winning stops being about outcomes and starts being about commitment. This shift creates a sense of control and fulfillment that external achievements alone cannot provide. Progress, not perfection, creates a life of meaning. It honors effort, persistence, and growth. It allows you to celebrate how far you have come while continuing to move forward. When you live this way, success is no longer something you chase, it is something you experience daily. And that is the most powerful way to win every day.